live. So I'm out viewing some property today. A little flip we just finished up. Not a good way to start a live. A little flip we just finished up. Actually, a pretty big flip. It's a lot of work. Not a great deal. But anyways, it's getting done. So I'm a little under the weather today, sinus. And what I want to talk to you about, if I don't sneeze first. Horrible start to this live. What I want to talk to you about is you coaching you. You don't understand, but you are your greatest coach. Okay, my wife and I were in a counseling session the other day. That's right, we go to counseling. Sometimes more frequently than others. We've gone to a lot of counseling over the years, and counseling's great. It doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. Like at one point in time, it helped save our marriage. We were in a real bad place, and helped us a lot. So we're in a counseling session the other day, dealing with some issues we have with one of our children. We've got some issues with one of our children. Guess what? You got 5 kids, you got 8 kids, you're gonna have some issues. So we went to a man that we trust, been knowing for years and years and years. And I think he's a great counselor. Why do I think he's a great counselor? Because he asked this question. We'll discuss some things. He might give a couple suggestions and never tells us what to do, but he'll say, so what do you think you should do? He'll ask something like, what do you feel about that? You know, wrapping up, he's like, so what actions are you thinking that might be best for you in this situation? So that is a symbol, or an example of, why we are our best coach, right? That's how, like, the best coaches that I've had to this day, that's how they coach. They ask open-ended questions. How do you feel about that? What is it that you want? What are the results you're after? What do you think is the best path to get there? So how about you coach you for a little bit? Now, I'm not saying there's not value in coaching. That's why I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in coaching. I'm in multiple coaching programs right now. So there's value in having the right, not just mindset, skill sets, environment, and accountability, things that coaching and coaching programs create. That's a different discussion. But sometimes you just need to coach you. Like, what if you could extract yourself out of your body and just kind of look at yourself, duplicate yourself, clone yourself, if you will? What advice would you give to you right now? What are some things that you would say, hey, you, and you point your finger at you, this is what you need to do. Like, what's the one thing? Maybe 2. Probably let's just stick with 1. What's the one thing that you need to do in your business that you need to do? Maybe you need to hire a coach. Maybe you need to start this marketing plan. Maybe you need to quit your job. What's the one thing? What coaching would you give you? What do you need to do in your marriage? What do you need to do? What's the one thing you need to do better? You need to take action on, is being a parent. What's the one thing you need to do with your health, your fitness, with your diet or your workouts? What's something you need to change? Just one thing. Coach you. What is that? Be still with that. And then, because you love you, right? You need to pour some salt on the wound. You need to agitate the pain. Okay? You need to kick your own ass is what you need to do. I had a new coaching student sign up yesterday, and I said, my friend, I've got 2 commitments. One is ordained by God. The other, flows through me. Number 1, commanded to love others unconditionally. So I promise to love you unconditionally as God has called me to love others. And how I love unconditionally, how that comes out with my students is I'm going to kick your ass to make sure you get what it is that you want, or what it is that you want. He told me what he wanted, and I'm like, that's what you want? You clear on it? I'm clear? Cool. I'm going to kick your ass lovingly and push you to get there. So perhaps you need to go take a good look in the mirror. Think about what some of the costs are of your inaction. By you not doing that one thing, what is the cost of it in your relationships, in your health, in your business, your future finances, like your future life? Because the inaction that you're not taking today, or you are taking today, because inaction is also action, but your inaction is costing you tomorrow. So I want you to think about that. And I want to hurt a little bit. Think a little bit about what it's cost you to this point. Like things that you could have created at this point, things you could have executed on and you didn't do. I remember when I was at my corporate job and I started buying rentals. I bought 3 or 4 rentals. First 3 or 4 months I started. This guy I was talking to, I was telling him I bought a rental this month. I bought another rental. And he told me, man, I want to do that. My wife won't let me. Man, I would like to do that. My wife won't let me. I don't think I can convince her. After I bought my 4th or 5th rental, I stopped talking about it at my job because I didn't want him to think like it was a conflict, because I was like doing some hardcore hustling on the real estate side of things while I was working my full-time job. And I'm like, I don't wish, a sales job, numbers all that matter, but I'm like, I don't want people knowing my business because I didn't want I didn't want them to know. And in case I had some bad months, they're like, well, it's because you're doing real estate. That was really probably the real reason. So fast forward 2 years later, I bought 24, 25 rentals at that point, and I'm quitting. And I'm talking to this guy, and he's like, dude, I heard you're quitting. And I was like, yeah, I'm quitting. He's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, real estate. He's like, real estate? You just got a few rentals? Or like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, dude, I got like 25. He's like, what? 25? You had like 3 or 4. I'm like, yeah, that was a year and a half ago. I've got like 24, 25 now. I'm quitting my job. He said the same thing. Dude, like, I've always wanted to do that. I don't think my wife will let me. Well, I'm like, bro, this is 2009. You're like in the midst of one of the greatest buying seasons ever. His inaction's costing him. It costed him a lot. So think about it. What is that thing or multiple things in your life that if you changed, if you took action on, could change the game for you? So I'm not saying don't go get a coach. I'm not saying don't get mentoring, don't get in a mastermind. Those are all great things. But sometimes you just need to coach you.